Hi, I'm here to apologize for one of my previous videos where I talked about the problems with the otherkin theory and furry and autistic movements. I think some of that internalized cure culture had, blinded me to some of what I was saying, and that, I was saying that to be more accepted by the mainstream and not be and not have ABA win, that we have to be much more careful about our hygiene, exercising, going outdoors. Now, hygiene is important, but I was being kind of quite insensitive to some autistics who have sensory issues and other emotional issues that make showering and hygiene difficult. And in those cases, they just need to be, taught about good hygiene with ways that are, less judgmental and that understand, where they're coming from. I deeply apologize for not understanding that in that case I was ableist. This is a sad fact that, the neurodiversity movement and the anti-ABA movement just sprang up within this decade. And sadly, I am a product of the culture of curing and of conversion therapy and of ABA, and it has gotten to, and in social pragmatics especially, because that's gotten into my brain in ways I didn't even realize until now, and I'm finally glad to be free of that, because I was put through special ed from preschool up until high school, and wasn't as, I wasn't put through ABA at high school, but there was still a lot of that ableist special ed in high school, which I just realized now that there is. I was forced to basically make friends, to be social, to learn social pragmatics without any consideration to where I was coming from. And granted, I'm the leader of a Therian, Otherkin, and Furry pack, so I do like making friends. I like being very social, but during my school years, I was basically forced to be social with people who weren't like-minded, and now, today, I refuse to be friends with those kind of people. So, yeah, so I was basically, put through years of conversion therapy, and because that's how it was in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, because it was wrong, but because of that, I'm in my 30s, and there's still a lot of stuff I have to accomplish in my life that other people may have accomplished in their 20s, because they were, either they were neurotypical, or they weren't put through conversion therapy to try to force them to change who they are, or today they're in their 20s now during the neurodiversity movement, so they don't have to be put through as much conversion therapy as I do. So I wish I didn't have to have had that conversion therapy forced on me to the degree that it was. I'm finally free of it, though, so I do think that, and of course, if I may have said in that video about the importance of going outside, I know now that for some of us on the autism spectrum, going outside isn't really the best thing, because some of us may have motion issues. For anybody who has physical disabilities that prevent them from moving a lot, they have every right to spend most of their time indoors, watching TV, going on the internet, playing video games. That is their total right. So, yeah, so it could be argued, though, that those of us who can go outside, who can move around a lot, should. And for us I love the outdoors, I love to hike, I love being out in nature. And for a lot of humans, that is a way to become less human-centered. For a lot of, and for a lot of us who are half human, half something else, in our soul, it's a good thing to connect to our non-human self. But even if you're a Therian, furry, or otherkin, and you have physical mobility issues where you can't go outside as much, or your disability makes it better for you to stay indoors and spend more screen time, that's fine. That's your right. You're no less of a Therian, furry, and otherkin for that. And in some cases, you can really get in touch with your non-human side by watching TV, playing video games, or going on the internet, since there are so many TV shows, video games, and stuff on the internet that are connected to Therians, furries, otherkins, and the non-human world, with a lot of earth-based, philosophical messages. So, yeah. So, and eating right is important. I was right about that. That's still important. Somebody, again, if you were approach to eating right, maybe you should have a little bit more, maybe I should have been a little bit more sensitive to where some of the people on the autism spectrum that I was addressing are coming from. So, like I said, I apologize. I also wanted my viewers to tell me whether or not my autistic hand pride video was ableist in any way, because I'm concerned that it might be, and if it is, I'll take it down and I'll apologize for it. But, yeah, so please ask me if that's ableist in any ways, because I was delayed for like a decade until the neurodiversity movement really took off. But now I am fully into the neurodiversity movement. I'm going to start going to Autistic Self-Advocacy Network meetings. I am working and doing activism and being completely part of it, and no longer part of the cure culture. I am starting to emancipate my mind from the cure culture and the conversion therapies, mental slavery completely.